Holy shit, boys and girls, Rusty Reckless here with another Blu-ray / DVD update. I know it's been a while, but my lazy ass just can't get the time to do this sometimes. First up, we're going to start. I've been collecting a lot of Blu-rays over the last couple months here. Probably since Black Friday and then Christmas, my girlfriend, my mom, and myself got myself a lot of new Blu-rays and DVDs. So we're going to start off first with my favorite genre, comedy. First one I got here, I guess I'll hold it like this. Tropic Thunder. If you haven't seen this, it stars Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr. Basically about this movie. They're making it about like a war movie, and it goes wrong. It's just a funny ass movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but got for $5 at Game Traders. You can't beat that. Next up, it's a romantic comedy. Me and the girlfriend wanted to watch it. It's called 10 Things I Hate About You. Basically, these two sisters in high school, the one can't date unless the other one, Julia Stiles, does. So, the late great Heath Ledger plays in it. It's just like one of the greatest, one of my favorite, 90s teen movies. Got it for $10 for 10 Things I Hate About You. Can't beat that. Up next, I was at Best Buy. Got Wedding Crashers for $5. That was a good deal on that. Next one, it's The To-Do List, starring Aubrey Plaza, Bill Hader, and a bunch of people's in here. Even McLovin shows up in here. Basically, it's about this girl, and she's a high schooler, and so last year she just graduated, and basically she's a virgin, and she hasn't had much experience. So before she goes off to college, she makes up this list of things she wants to do with boys. Almost kind of becomes a slut. Another guy falls in love with her, blah blah blah. Good. Almost reminds you of like a 90s teen movie. It takes place in 93. Funny thing is about this movie, most of the actors are like 28, 30, 32 years old. And they're playing like 18-year-olds. But that's kind of how it's supposed to be, like 90210-ish. Kind of like one of those teen things, But I definitely would recommend seeing this. I really like this one, The To-Do List. And then next, I was at Target and I picked up Beetlejuice the other day for $7. It's been forever since I seen Beetlejuice. And I kind of been in like a Tim Burton mood. So I just picked it up, I said, what the hell. And then, what else did I get? Got Beer Fest, that was $5 the other day. Where was I? Best Buy had a bunch of Blu-rays for $5, so I had to pick that one up. If you haven't seen Beer Fest, it's a Broken Lizards movie. The guys that brought you Super Troopers and that Salt. Oh God, what was that movie? They were in a restaurant. I forget. Something Salmon Slam or something. Salmon. I don't know. But Beer Fest is a bunch of guys drinking. Enter a Beer Fest. It's fucking funny. I mean, just thinking of this, I should just pop this in and watch it right now. Up next, I got Robin Hood Men in Tights. I was with my girlfriend and she really liked this movie. I haven't seen the whole thing of this. I know Chappelle has a part in it. I don't know who really plays in this. But it's been a while since I've seen it. I remember I like a lot of Mel Brooks movies, so I picked it up. It's an old man theme, I guess, because the next one after this is going to be Bad Grandpa. But I picked up Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. I used to watch these movies a lot. If you haven't seen them, it's about just grumpy old men being old funny bastards. It stars Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. I mean, they have passed away since, but I used to remember watching these movies a lot as a kid with my grandparents and stuff. And, there were just always funny movies, and they were at like $7. Like, if you see something for $7, even if it's not your favorite movie, like, really, it's $7. So, picked up 1 and 2 for $7 at Walmart. Can't beat that. Next up on the Grandpa list, Bad Grandpa, starring Johnny Knoxville. If you haven't seen this, I recommend it very much so. I mean, anything Jackass, Johnny Knoxville, CKY, the Bam Margera stuff, I've always been in that since, God, high school. I'm 26 now. But, you know, Bad Grandpa stars Johnny Knoxville. He's dressed up as, like, the bad grandpa, you know, from Jackass. I think it was 2 and 3. He did a couple of the grandpa, like, dressing up as an old man, peeing himself and needed help. And it's about him and his grandson. They go on this road trip, and it's a really funny movie, man. And it was only $20 brand new, which I think that's a fair price, man. Like, I hate when I see Blu-rays and, like, DVDs for, like, $30 sometimes places, which they hardly are anymore, but 25 is just so steep. I don't know what it is about that $5. 20 is okay with me. And then I ordered a few movies on Amazon. I got Take Me Home Tonight, starring Topher Grace, and I forget who else is in this. Anna Faris is in this. It's basically the people that made that 70s show. I don't know if they wrote it or directed or did both. But Topher Grace is in this, and it's just like almost reminds you of like that 70s show kinda, but it's an 80s movie, and it's like this big party's going on, and he likes this girl, you know, typical 80s teen comedy kind of thing. There's a bunch of cocaine involved and stuff. It's really funny. It's a really good one. And I forget the one guy, that guy right there, plays in Balls of Fury. He's in it too, and I like him in this a lot better than I did Balls of Fury. I never really cared for that movie, but I recommend checking this one out. I don't think a lot of people know about it. It's called Take Me Home Tonight. And then I was feeling a little bit old school, so I got Shell Hal. That was only like $5. I found it somewhere on Amazon. If you haven't seen Shallow Hal, he's a really, basically as the title says, shallow. He's a shallow guy. He's won't date anybody if they look overweight or this or that. So he's stuck in an elevator with Tony Robbins. Yeah, the dude that's like a, you know, motivational speaker. And he tells him one day, you know, you won't be shallow anymore. So like, it's girls that are ugly, kind of like not very attractive, and like big fat girls and stuff. Like, Gwyneth Paltrow, like that's why that's like that. She's really heavy, but he sees her as like a skinny supermodel and stuff. But it's a really funny movie. I mean, I love the Farrelly brothers. Almost anything they made, like Dumb and Dumber, Something About Mary. I love all those movies. I remember growing up watching those a lot, and like Kevin Smith movies, and just laughing my ass off, you know. Shout out how. Next up, Airheads, starring Brandon Fraser, Adam Sandler, and Steve Buscemi. If you haven't seen this movie, it's about a like 90s grunge rock band, you know, and they want their record played, like, God, yeah, record. Well, their single played, album played, you know. They wanted their music played on the radio, and they weren't getting it played. So basically what they do is they hold up like a record store. I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. Like, a radio. Like, anyway, Airheads. Next up, I got Heavyweights, starring Ben Stiller. Well, it wasn't the main star, but it's about a bunch of fat kids that go to a fat camp, and it sounds like the most awesome camp in the world, and then Ben Stiller takes it up over, and it's just like the camp from hell, and he wants these kids to lose weight, but then later on in the movie they start sneaking in like food and stuff. I grew up a chubby kid, and like Heavyweights was just like one of those movies that I loved. I really wish they made a lot of like Disney movies like this, but they don't anymore. It's kind of just, I don't know what's going on. But I really miss that, like 90s teen, like younger teen and like kid movies were just like fun, wholesome movies, and they had a lot of good comedy in it and stuff. Just don't see that much anymore. But anyway, that's Heavyweights, guys. Oh, what else do I got? And then next up, I upgraded I Love You Man on Blu-ray, starring Paul Rudd and Jason Segel. If you haven't seen this movie, it's basically Paul Rudd's getting married and he doesn't have too many guy friends, so he's like out on the town one night and he runs into Jason Segel, and then they start hitting it off and, you know, start playing like Rush songs in their garage, and it's just a fun movie. I mean, it's just like a really fun movie. Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk, has a role in it and stuff. And it's just like a really good ass movie. I haven't seen it in a while, so I picked it up. It's I Love You Man. I love you, man. Next up, I got Old School. I upgraded from DVD to Blu-ray. If you haven't seen Old School, it's just about a bunch of middle-aged dudes. Will Ferrell is in it. Vince Vaughn and Luke Wilson, and they just start like a frat house, and it's just a fun-ass comedy to watch. If you haven't seen that, man, I don't know where you've been. It's like one of the best comedies of all time, Old School. And next on the list, classic, can't beat this movie, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Probably just one of the best, you know, 80s teen comedies about high schoolers and stuff in their last year of high school. And Sean Penn as Spicoli is probably one of the greatest characters of all time. Like, he's just typical crazy stoner. And if you haven't seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I recommend just picking it up. I got it FYE for like $8 or something like that. And up next, I got the Back to the Future trilogy. This was on sale for $20, I think, at Best Buy a few weeks ago, so I definitely picked that up. Back to the Future, if you haven't seen those, it stars Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Couldn't think of his name. But basically just time travel movie. You know, Michael J. Fox hangs out with Christopher Lloyd. He's a mad scientist, basically. And the DeLorean, if you don't know what the DeLorean is, it's the 80s car DeLorean, but it's a time machine. It's just awesome. Like, this movie, I remember watching these as kids. They just have like it's like a good movie just all around. And the third one wasn't too hot. They go back to the Wild West, but the first two I really liked a lot. It's Back to the Future. Anyway, guys, that was basically just some of the comedy Blu-rays I did. I'm going to try to make these videos kind of short. I hate doing like long videos because I just, like, as you can tell, at parts I just ramble on. But anyway, thanks guys. Please subscribe, you know, leave a comment, anything you want to know about me and my movie collection, you know, just let me know. But anyway, thanks guys. Bye.